And welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Brant Fowler, and this is Only Good Comics. And this is a brand new series that I'm debuting called Friday Firsts. And what this series is, it's kind of evolved from my original idea. If you watch my other videos, this was going to be new issues, new #1 issues that came out this week, and I talk about them on Fridays. But because of my schedule, because I don't always go to the shop on Wednesdays, because I have some of them delivered through DCBS, it's hard for me to get those books and read them and be able to talk about them by Friday. So instead, what I've done is made my slant on most anticipated videos. So what this is actually going to be now is #1 issues, new story arcs, new characters being introduced, all those kind of things that are firsts coming out next week. So these books that I'm going to be talking about in this video are #1 issues that are coming out next week. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And the way I'm going to do this is I've got some books that I'm intrigued by, but I don't know a whole lot about. So I think they could be good. And then I'm gonna talk about those. I've got a couple that I'm gonna shout out because I know some of the creators involved with the books, and I want to give them a highlight in their new #1s as well. And then there are 3 books that I'm really excited about, and so I'm going to talk about those. And then I've got a couple of honorable mentions as well. So that's going to be the order of things and how I'm going to do it here, and we'll see how that plays out. We'll see if it's organic, see if it flows. I might tweak it here and there as we go forward with this series. And I've come up with a rating system for these books. It's going to be 1 through 3. So 3 is, it could be good. You know, it's good. It sounds good, looks good. It could be good, but I don't know. If I give it a 2, then I think this is going to be good. You know, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to be entertained. It might not blow my socks out, but I think it's going to be good. It's going to be solid, right? And then 1, a score of 1 is very good. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to blow my mind or whatever. So that's kind of the rating system that I'm going with. For the honorable mentions, obviously, I'm not going to rate those. And I don't think I'm going to rate the shout-outs that I do. But all the other books, I will give them a rating. And we'll see how this goes. So let's dig into these books. I've got a lot to talk about this week. If you are new to the channel, this is the 2nd series that I've debuted on the channel. Actually, 3rd. I take that back. I've been doing Let's Talk Mondays for a while now. And those are just books that I really enjoy. I will talk about them on Mondays, and I'll kind of do a mini review of them, and I'll recommend them for you to read. Indie Wednesdays, I pick an indie title and kind of do a spotlight on it. I've only done 1 of those so far, and now we've got Friday First. So let's dive into these Friday First books. The very first book that I want to talk about is The Wrong Earth. We Could Be Heroes, #1. The website that I'm using to talk about these books, show them off on here just before I get started, is leagueofcomicgeeks.com. This is not a sponsored video. They're not a sponsor of the channel or this video. It's just a site that I use. Mike Spiderslayer from Comic Book Corner 2.0 recommended it to me a long time ago. It's a cool site to keep track of your pull list, and you can actually print it out and everything. And you can keep track of what you've read and what you want to read and all that kind of stuff. It's got like it's got 4 symbols. I think it's like pull list, add to your pull list. I want this book. I have this book in my collection, or I've read this book. So you can keep track of your entire list that way. And it's really cool that way. So that is the site that I'm using for this. They will show a blurb like you see on the screen. They'll show all the covers. If I scroll down on here, usually there'll be another cover here and not an ad. They'll show the creators, and sometimes they'll show the characters that are involved in the book. So the first book that I want to talk about, new #1 issue that's coming out next week on October 3rd, I believe it is, or 4th, is The Wrong Earth, We Could Be Heroes, #1 from Ahoy Comics. This is a series. This was their first hit series from the company, and it was a cool kind of spin on taking a like Adam West Batman type character called Dragonfly Man, and he gets transported to an alternate universe that is more like your gritty modern superheroes, where it's a duplicate of him, Dragonfly, and his like sidekick had been killed and everything was just dark. It was more like a Gotham. So it was like Adam West Batman meeting like the 80s and 90s little gritty dark Batman, and they switch places and have to figure out how to navigate each other's worlds. So that's kind of the concept of The Wrong Earth, and they've done a bunch of miniseries since then. So this one, all those characters, Dragonfly, Dragonfly Man, all the characters from those two worlds are off someplace else. So new heroes have to step up and try to combat the villains who have taken over the city. And so that's what this one is about. I always try these series. Some of them are better than others, but The Wrong Earth is a great concept, a great series that if you like that kind of thing, you like those kind of mashups of different time periods and golden age versus modern age and things like that. This is definitely a book to check out. So I'm going to give this one a 2, which is good. I think it's going to be good. This concept is solid. And like I said, even the ones that I don't enjoy as much are still fun for this series. So check out The Wrong Earth. We Could Be Heroes #1 in stores next week. All right, so next book I'm going to be talking about is from Scout Comics, and this is Mom Breaks the Internet #1. And this is I didn't mention the creators in the last one, but this is Jay Sandlin is writing it. Patrick Mulholland is the artist. Leona Kangas is the cover artist, or the main cover artist at least. This is an interesting concept, and if you haven't checked out Scout Comics, they do a lot of different unique storylines. So check it out. Mom Breaks the Internet is about a mom named Barbie. Timely, right? Her 15-year-old daughter is arrested at this protest, and to kind of combat that, when she picks her up from jail, she doesn't know what happened to her and all that stuff, and the feds get involved and everything. So she decides to gather all these moms that are tech savvy. They know their way around the internet, to kind of take over the internet in a way. I don't know what that means exactly, what that entails, but it's a really interesting concept. And the title of the book, Mom Breaks the Internet, it's just too cool to ignore. So I'm going to try to check this one out, and I recommend you do as well. I'm going to give this one a 3, though. I'm going to say it could be good. There's actually a comment on this page says, oh, it could be cringe too. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes and which direction they take with how they take over the internet and all this stuff, and what that means, and what actually happened to her teenage daughter to kind of set her on this path of doing whatever she does to the internet. So it could be good. I'm hoping it's good. So that's where we're going to leave that one at. All right, next up. Okay, now we're getting into a few shout outs, or a couple of shout outs. This is The Devil That Wears My Face #1. This is from Mad Cave Studios. So Mad Cave is another smaller publisher that does really cool creative stuff, and they're always trying new stuff over there. So this, I kind of wanted to shout this out because this is David Pepos, who is currently writing stuff for Marvel, is on the rise. Alex Cormack also, who I know and have worked with. I've gotten a cover from Alex before. He's a fantastic artist that does some stuff with Comics Tribe. And this is taking place in the 1700s at the Vatican. Vatican's in turmoil. They have to rescue a Spanish nobleman from this demon known as Legion. So it's very supernatural, very religious bent. Alex Cormack has also done stuff for Dark Horse. David Pepos worked on Moon Knight books, Savage Avengers, different stuff, Fantastic Four. Justin Birch, acclaimed letterer, has done a lot of work as well. We've run in the similar circle. So it's a lot of people that I know or have worked with in the past, or have, talked to. So I definitely wanted to give a shout out for The Devil That Wears My Face. So go check that one out as it comes out next week as well. So there's a shout out for you. Another one that caught my attention, which I meant to do this one before the shout outs, but another one that caught my attention is this one from Dark Horse called The Midnite Show number one. And the reason being is because this is by Cullen Bunn and Brian Hurt. This is the creators from The Sixth Gun and Man in Black, and it's a supernatural horror where like your classic Universal monsters characters like Dracula and Frankenstein and stuff come out of the TV, and it's just in time for Halloween, right? First week of October. Halloween's just a few weeks away, so you get your classic monsters wreaking havoc on a film festival, and a ragtag group of misfits have to come to the rescue of everyone and try to save the day. So it sounds like a really cool concept. Cullen Bunn, known for his horror stuff, but this one sounds a little bit more fun and more fan service kind of vibe to me. So I'm going to rank this one a 3. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it sounds like a cool concept and sounds like a fun time at this time of the year, especially. So that's where this one's going to fall on the list. Okay, next book is another shout out, specifically for the artist, but this is from Black Mask Studios, another great indie company that does some cool stuff. I've enjoyed several of their books over the years. This takes place in the 80s on the streets of South Central Los Angeles, and there's this task force that gets together, but the bodies keep coming, so it's more of like a crime noir kind of vibe. Writer is Patrick Kinlan, but the artist is Lorenzo Ray. I still don't know how to. I should ask him. But this is the artist on one of the books that my imprint, Last Number Press, publishes. There we go. In the Land of the Dragon, and we are currently working on issue 2 of that. He actually had an injury, and it kind of slowed down progress, but he was working on other stuff, including probably this book. So Leta Gasoline, #1 in stores. Another shout out and congrats to Lorenzo for getting another book out there. I did not know about this when I wasn't aware of this, so it was a pleasant surprise looking through the list and finding this book and like, oh, it's Lorenzo. He's getting more work out there. So I'm happy for anybody that I work with that is getting more work and rising up through the ranks, as it were. So congrats, and go check out Leta Gasoline if your shop carries Black Mask. If not, ask them to and get this book. All right, now we are into my top 3, the 3 that I really wanted to talk about, the 3 that I'm excited about. So let's get into these new #1 issues that are coming out next week. And first up is G.O.D.S. #1. Now, we've been seeing the previews of this all throughout Marvel books for the past couple of months, I'd say. Little previews, little kind of cut scenes, credit scenes in different books, kind of teasing us with little elements of the story, but not the full story. We really don't know what the story is about. They've kept it kind of under wraps. We just know that there are these powerful characters that are getting involved in something. So Jonathan Hickman, as it says here in the description, reinvents the cosmology of the Marvel Universe. What happens when the powers that be meet the natural order of things. So that could be fun. It could be really fun. You got a lot of characters involved with this. Obviously, Jonathan Hickman writing it. Valerio Schiti is the artist. Marty Gracia, colorist, and Travis Lanham is the letterer. Characters involved in this book. Let's take a look at this. This is what I was talking about with this with the site. They show you all the covers that are available for this book, and then they'll often show you a lot of characters. We got Wong from Doctor Strange, Clea Strange, Doctor Doom. We got Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, of course. And then we got some characters that I'm not familiar with, and maybe they're brand new. Aiko Maki, Cubic Cure, Dimitri the Science Boy, Mia the Magic Girl, Saint Maur Circil, Win, and then of course like Black Panther and Brawn. And so you got your Illuminati type characters, right? Dr. Budo. You got your sorcerers, and you got your very intelligent people with Black Panther and Brawn and Reed and stuff like that. So a lot of interesting characters in this. I don't know if it's going to be everybody's thing. If you're not into the cosmic stuff, maybe not. If you're not into the, I don't know. we don't know enough about this book to know what this actually is, but I'm very curious about it. So I'm going to give this a 2, which is, again, I think it's going to be good. I think it, it could be exciting, but I don't know. These kind of books could go either way. It could be really good or it could be really bad. But I'm on this channel. I try to lean towards the good things, the positive things, the happy things, the things that entertain me and make me happy. So I've been kind of intrigued by this every time it's popped up in the back. I'm like, what is this thing? What is this thing going to be? What is it about? And how is it going to affect the Marvel Universe? And that's kind of what I want to see. We've talked about that on Comic Book Weekly. So definitely want to check this one out. So again, this one gets a ranking of 2. All right. Next up, we've got Ranger Academy issue number 1. This is from Boom Studios, written by Maria Ingrande Mora, and artist is, I'm totally butchering these names, but Jomi Gyong or Zhang. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Cover artist Miguel Mercado. All right, and there's all the covers available. It doesn't show the characters, but I don't know a whole lot about this. The second I heard the words Ranger Academy, and I've really been enjoying the Power Rangers comics for the past few years from Boom. I think they're fantastically done. They've really made me a fan of Power Rangers, and I was not a fan. I've historically been somebody that had a little brother that was really into Power Rangers, that watched it all, and I got into it for him. Because of him, I would buy him the toys. I would watch, the movies and the show with him, but I was never into it. I thought it was kind of cheesy. But when Boom, especially the past few years and the run that Ryan Parrott did, now that Melissa Flores is continuing, that whole run has been really, really good. And it's made me a fan of the franchise, made me a fan of the characters who I was already familiar with. And now I love them, and I can't wait for each issue to come out of Mighty Morphin. So when I heard Ranger Academy from Boom, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool concept. So now you're bringing up the next generation of Rangers. I've got to check this out. So you got 13-year-old Sage living on this isolated colony with her adoptive father, and she's learning to train at this academy to become a Power Ranger. There was a preview book during Free Comic Book Day. I thought that was solid. So this one's got me excited. I think this is going to be really good. I think it's going to be really fun. And so I'm giving this one a 1. This one is very good. I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be really good. And I can't wait to read it. So I don't know. This is like when you talk about some kind of franchise like this, and it's like always been, okay, we got these 5. They're going to be the team, or these 4, these 3, whatever it is. And then it's like, okay, it's just randomly chosen. When it's time for new Rangers to step up, they step up. But then it's like, okay, they've introduced this whole other element to it where there's actually a school that trains them. It's like when they did X-Men Academy and Avengers Academy, and it's like basically the Teen Titans. It's like the training grounds to graduate up to the main team. And I always love that kind of thing. I think it's cool. So I think it's going to be cool here too. And then the book that I am most anticipating as far as new books go, and just honestly in general, this is the book that I'm anticipating the most next week. And that is Transformers issue number 1 from Skybound/Image Comics. This is going to be written by Daniel Warren Johnson, who is also doing the art. Colorist Mike Spicer. Letters by Russ Wooten. There's all kinds of covers for this book. I mean, so many covers. And here's your characters. We got RC, we got Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, Laserbeak, Optimus Prime, Prowl, Ratchet, Rumble, Skywarp, Soundwave, Starscream, and Wheeljack. All classic characters from G1, the Transformers. Daniel Warren Johnson, if you're not familiar with his work, he did Do a Power Bomb, he did Murder Falcon, he did a Beta Ray Bill story. So this is, I'm so excited. I'm a huge Transformers fan. You can probably see Optimus Prime, and a bunch of other 80s tunes characters in my background. I love Transformers and G.I. Joe, and this is kind of the second part of that new universe that Skybound is building, starting with Void Rivals. Now we got this. Later in the year, going into the new year, we've got the G.I. Joe stuff coming out. So, but this one is really cool. Optimus Prime was supposed to lead the Autobots to victory, it says. Instead, the fate of Cybertron is unknown. They've crash landed far from home. So this is kind of a retelling of the origin story. They come to Earth. Planet will never be the same. They're discovered. And we're going to see them, hopefully, like we've never seen them before, as this universe expands. And we see how that ties into Void Rivals and how G.I. Joe comes into play with it. But I really enjoyed Duo Powerbomb. That is one of the best books, best comics that I've ever read. I thought it was a fantastic, phenomenal story from start to finish. And not just because it had wrestling involved with it, but it was just the character journey was fantastic. And I cannot wait to see what Daniel Warren Johnson does with these beloved characters that I've grown up with and have a huge affinity for. I will check out anything Transformers, and this is the one I've been most excited about in years. So I cannot wait for this book, and I'm giving this a resounding #1. I would still, from Simon Miller on What Culture, a gold #1, but I'm not going to do that. But that's kind of how I'm feeling about this book. I think it's going to be just absolutely fantastic, great, astounding, amazing. So that's it. So moving on from there, I've got some honorable mentions. Because of the Halloween holiday, I combined those words for a second. Sorry about that. I gotta shout out this one, Archie Halloween. I don't know why that's highlighted. Archie Halloween Spectacular 2023, brand new story, monster mashup, trick or treat. Return to Halloween night to harass Archie and Jughead with assorted monsters until Sabrina takes charge. I also want to shout out some of these covers. These covers are gorgeous. Just lots of cool covers. If you were a fan of Archie at all, especially like classic Archie, obviously, check this out. We got your just classic Archie characters involved with this. It'll be fun, goofy, spooky tales for Halloween. So I had to shout that one out, that's coming out next week. And then I have just a couple of other shout outs. In case you missed these $2, we've got Justice Society of America Gold #1. This collects Justice Society of America 1 through 3, the new series. If you missed that, I think, I know not everybody probably agrees with me, but I think it was a fun story. I think it was a really solid mystery tale of how Huntress in the future, her whole Justice Society team was killed. So she traveled back in time to try to rescue them and in the process try to save her own family, save her dad from passing away as well. I thought it was good. I thought it was a really solid arc, that first arc of JSA as it returned. So check that out if you missed it originally. And also the new Golden Age Special Edition issue #1. This is a reprinting of the new Golden Age that came out a while back. I think it was November of last year. And this was kind of it was the launching of the dawn of DC, basically, and it was reintroducing you to a lot of these characters. Mime and Marionette from the Watchmen universe, they are in this as well. Stuff from Flashpoint Beyond. You got Rip Hunter and the Time Masters. You got different stuff from the Golden Age as they're getting kind of a repainting, a rebirthing into this current DC universe. So you can check that out. Lots of creators involved with this one. I'm not going to list them all. Lots of characters involved as well, as you can see. So if you missed this originally, you can get the reprint of this. So that's another honorable mention here. All right. So that is the first episode of Friday 1st, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of it, what you would like to see done differently, if there are any books that I missed that you're picking up, these new #1s or new story arcs or new characters that that you're excited about that are coming out next week that I missed that you want to share with me, I'd love to hear that. Any ideas you have for this? If you don't like the lineup, or if you want something different done differently, or a different rating system, whatever, I'd love any feedback that you can give me. And also let me know these books that I talked about, what you're excited about. Are you excited about Transformers? Are you excited about G.O.D.S or Ranger Academy, or some of the other ones that I mentioned in this video as well? Anything, any thoughts you have, I'd love to hear in the comments below. Please leave those. And of course, you know what to do. Check out onlygoodcomics.com. That will take you right to this YouTube channel so you can get all the other content. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any notifications on this channel. And of course, you can follow me right there in the corner at Only Good Comics across social media. And then join me Monday for a new video. And just join me here for all kinds of videos, hopefully in the future, as we talk about only good comics. Until then, take care, keep reading, and I will talk to you soon.